and that's what John Giles is all about. And in terms of the Labour Party, obviously we want to increase funding across the board, but one of the initiatives we've been involved in is trying to get, using football as a medium to get parents and children communicating with each other and more involved with each other in areas of disadvantage. It was a pilot scheme that we rolled out in Edenmore with the FAI and also with support from Dublin City Council, and the idea being that football is basically, it's a wonderful language that unites families together. It's something that young people and their parents really enjoy together. So we use football as a mechanism of getting parents and children to communicate in an educational setting, which sometimes can be a challenge in disadvantaged areas. And so John was obviously interested in that as well. So just from the Labour Party point of view, we understand absolutely that sport is very important, that it's more than just a pastime. It's very much what people talk about and live for at the weekend, and we want to be able to invest in it, but also invest in it in a way that empowers particularly disadvantaged communities into the future.
Thank you. Elaine?
Just today the AA People for Profit are launching their Repeal the Eighth policy. I know it's obviously at the heart of Labour's policy as well, so obviously you've common interest there. We're looking at needing an extra, I suppose, an extra party or people after the next government with Labour and Fine Gael. Would they be a possibility?
I don't think they're serious about going into government. I mean, you mentioned there the Repeal the Eighth. Those kind of policies are the reasons why Labour go into government in the first place, and they only ever are delivered by Labour in government. And unfortunately, parties like the AIA like to rule out everybody else. So in terms of our social agenda, 5 years ago we made a commitment on the X case, made a commitment on marriage equality. They wouldn't have happened if Labour weren't in government. So if like-minded people are absolutely committed to that question, well then they should be committed to going into government to achieve them. I think the only party that's genuinely willing to go into government to achieve a referendum like that is the Labour Party.
I just wanted to listen for John first. Okay, John, why have you decided to support this Labour?
Well, I'm supporting Aodhán, and it goes back to when Aodhán was headmaster in Sheriff Street, and he wasn't involved in politics at that time. And I also, he was involved in a plaque that was put up to me in Norman Square. So we go back a few years, and I felt from the start that Aodhán was a good guy, and that I would support him. I think he did a great job in Sheriff Street. He was in a working class area. He was head school teacher there, and I liked him, and I didn't know he was going to go into politics, but I still like him. Also I've given my name to a foundation, which is I'm football background, as you probably know, and football was very, very good to me. I came from the grassroots area myself in Norman Square, and the foundation is for raising money for a grassroots area. So I think some of the things that I'm involved in are similar to what I was trying to do through football. I know he's got many, many other interests apart from football, but as he said earlier on, football is a great social situation where the parents in particular, and I think Aodhán works on the fathers who are maybe left home or whatever relationship they have with their children. Soccer brings them back together again. So it's a very, very social way of doing it. I mean, football is very, very popular. So that's my involvement in it. It's very, very personal, and I hope Aodhán gets in and continues to do the good job that he does.
Paul?
Aodhán, just before we came out here, you tweeted a picture of a new Labour ad. It's taken particular aim at Micheál Martin. Can you talk a bit about what the aim behind it is?
Well, I think Fianna Fáil are trying to give the impression to people that they were founded in 2011, as if they didn't exist previous to that. I think if people are honest about their politics, they should look back at the record that people have in government and the mess that we had to clear up. To be honest, I'd rather be more positive about what we're trying to do and focus on the plans that we have, but to be honest, sometimes it can be a little bit irritating when people are giving an impression that they were never in government before and that they have no track record that they have to defend. I think Fianna Fáil have a track record that they need to be more honest about. But what we've done for the last 5 years is to clean up the mess that they handed us, but now we have a vision for the next 5 years.
Speaking of Fianna Fáil, they said last night that they'd like to see a rotating Taoiseach in any coalition model. What do you think of that?
I don't know, did they actually say that?
Yeah.
Look, I think the only government that's offering itself is Labour and Fine Gael. I think when the people go to the polls on Friday, they'll realise that there's one government on offer, that there isn't really another government on offer, and we're determined to bring that over the line, and I'm pretty confident at this stage that we will be able to bring that over the line.
Last question, folks. Anyone?
One in Irish, Scoilige, if our camera's ready. Ian, happy? Happy, Ian, yeah. Tá sé bheisiolú an policy sport an seo fi láthair agus tá Joan Burton is tí hilar na cachrach is seolú policy gur postan an rud agin inistú fao sin.
Our policy héin ó have sporta.
Agus an cin níos dearna, yeah.
But to héin agus John an seo le chéile chun béim a chur ar chuirsaí sport or sport harpa táfta de grá muinsin na herans and gur agad níos mó in eiste de chuirteach an. Agus ní bháin sin tá sé táfta dúine an target sin a díiristeach ar áisna faoi bhí vantáis áisna bhil soccer bhí hábhtach is saolta dúine. Agus ní bháin sin is léir go bhfuil post na táfta dúine cumá agus tá gur a chóir leis an méid a déanta an ó héh postna agus fosteach le cúplaíon níos.
Which réad ó díosbrach telefíse an 8?
Tá muid ré agus tá cinse go bhfuil John Rain cumá.